Well. Get your popcorn ready because we about to go in. Family, I'm your gracious host, Drummer Boy 1980. You know my motto already. I don't make believe, I make believers. Hope you're having a good day today. If not, you know the old adage. Ask yourself why and remember this. Happiness is an inside job and it will always be. And in turning with family, we back again with another reaction from the Black Authority, aka Jason Black. And we have another interesting guest today by the name of Courtney Michelle. I done told you to get your popcorn ready, so I'm gonna call your attention to the screen, guys. Let's go.
They tend to go south. And by the way, if you all, just in case you all have forgotten who it was, a little bit of a visual aid on your screens. So just to make sure, so Courtney, I just want to make sure for everybody, I'm not mischaracterizing you, nor am I distorting the facts, correct?
Well, how are you categorizing me?
Okay.
So are you categorizing me because of, I'm cool with Nathan Daly, that we don't, and I want to be very specific because I don't throw people away. And even with Nathan, we have different ideologies and different perspectives on
Is this
things.
Would we label this considerate cooning? Would we label this considerate cooning at this point, or would it be something else? Tell me. I'm sorry. I'm just curious. I'm just curious about that. That's all.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Maybe I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I couldn't help but notice that. I'm just wondering, is this would we consider this to be considerate cooning, or would it be something else? Because she says, well, I don't throw people away. Well, I didn't say anything about throwing people away. No, I certainly didn't say that. However, I am just curious because when push came to shove and when the preeminent white supremacist spokesperson on YouTube, Just Pearly Things, spoke up, your friend, and it is not guilt by association. No, it's association by association. I couldn't help but notice he was 10 toes down for her. And there were a bunch of people who were saying a bunch of negative things about you in regard to her. And you claimed up one side and down the other. Why? No, that ain't me. And I know it might have seemed to a lot of slow-witted people at the time that Jason was just believing it or accepting everything he heard because he was not challenging her directly on it. And to the slow bus children, it might have seemed that way. But I think you all can tell now it's not that Jason didn't know. It certainly wasn't that. It is because you all need to wait until you see the right thing. So at this point right now, it would be kind of difficult, but you're certainly welcome to explain it away.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know what you're wanting me to explain. So
which part of slavery was exaggerated? Do you agree with? Because it seems like you.
I don't agree.
It seems It seems you have misrepresented yourself since our previous discussion, and I think it would be time to just at least do the decent thing and just say, well, hey, here's where I really stand on
it. Okay. So, well, I haven't misrepresented anything, and everything that I've said, I've stood up for, and I will double down on. Now, everybody in my life doesn't have the same views as me.
So you're telling me that you've got friends who believe that slavery was exaggerated and embellished.
No, Jason, I didn't say that. I'm just talking about friends in general.
Okay, you started by saying that Nate is one of your friends.
I'm not saying that.
You just said that he's one of your friends. You just said that.
I did. And there's nothing that he's told me that he believes that slavery is exaggerated, and that's definitely not my stand.
Okay. Did you hear what I played? Did you hear him on the lead attorney?
Okay.
Well, to be honest with you, Courtney, you did say that Nathan was your friend. I'ma just keep it a buck there now, okay? He didn't have to say it. His actions spoke that for him. And I wouldn't have a problem with Nathan per se, but Nathan has said some egregious things towards Black Americans. That's where the problem comes in at. Because I rock with Jamaicans, I rock with Haitians, I rock with people from the diaspora, all over the diaspora. But we don't tolerate coons, foreign or domestic. You heard me? Let me say that again. I said we don't tolerate coons, foreign or domestic, because it's dangerous. A coon can get you killed. You need to go read some slave narratives and see where they was actually devising and coming up with a plan, copying together a plan. And the wrong person heard it, a mole inside of the group. And guess what? They'll go back and tell on you and actually disrupt the plan. That's why coons are so dangerous. So it's okay for people to have different ideologies. Whenever it comes to something of this magnitude, you have to be lockstep with the people. Because if not, it could be the difference between life and death. And what do you mean, drummer? I'm glad you asked. See, people like Nathan, they actually will put him in a position over us. And then we wondering why we can't make no progress. He'll be a governor or Barack Obama. God almighty, no. Huh? Colin Powell. Should I keep going? They'll put an immigrant, not the ones that's down for the cause, because I am about unity under the right conditions. But they'll put a tether there. What is a tether? Somebody that looks like you, somebody that shares the same skin and the complexion, but their mind has been compromised. That's what a tether is in a nutshell. Cut and dry, black and white, right? So that's why it's dangerous. Because the first thing they'll say, oh, they up in the victim Olympics. That's coon talk. They Black Lives Matter. That's coon talk. Huh? That's coon talk. That's Sambo. That's jigaboo talk. I don't have no friends like that. I mean, me personally, I don't have no friends like that. Now, you are entitled to do as you see fit, but I don't understand, or I can't make the correlation between you being upset with just Pearly Things and giving her the business, but don't give him the business, because she is defending the person you giving the business to. So what logical, rational sense does that make, if you understand that? Moving right along.
Well, I've seen him on The Lead Attorney, yes. Now, if you played him on this show or previous, I didn't see that particular clip. But if he's saying something outlandish, I mean, that's a conversation. And I think that with you guys, you should talk to Nathan about that. I'm not his woman. I'm not his... I don't know what you're wanting me to do.
Stutter.
Nathan, I am cool with, and I respect him, and I respect his service.
Okay, then in that case, then would you have a problem with anybody who was still cool with Pearly Things?
Do I have a problem with anyone that's still cool with Pearly Things? I don't know anyone that's cool with her.
I didn't ask you that. I said I did not ask you if you knew anyone who was. I asked you, would you have a problem with, ma'am?
I mean, I would question absolutely on that. I would definitely question if they're buddies with just Pearly Things and knowing her character. Yes, I would definitely question.
Okay, so a fellow who calls lead attorney and is outright full-throated Spartan Shield defending Pearly Things, that you don't question.
No, I would question.
You're not.
And those conversations, if I have questions or anything with Nathan, or if I'm on the show, I mean, That's it. But if I'm going to say that I'm not going to be
okay, that sentence you just said wasn't even a complete sentence. By the way, why don't you go back and try that again, y'all? She's stuttering so badly, she's not even finishing her sentences. That wasn't even a complete thought you just said. Try it again.
Okay. Well, Jason, I'm not stuttering, and I am trying to have a conversation with you legit because I saw my picture and I didn't know why, but if this is a conversation about why I'm cool with Nathan,
well, that's one. That's one. I'll keep going here. That's one. I'll keep going here in a moment. Now, that's hardly the only thing. And you already know, Jason. Okay. And by the way, you're familiar enough with me to know that Jason doesn't just come with one invoice. Ask Pearly things. Okay. Ask Pearly things if I just come with one invoice. Oh, wait a minute. You can't ask her anymore. Never mind. Ask the lead attorney. Oh, wait a minute. You can't ask him anymore either. But by the way, if you could get a Ouija board and ask either one of them, Jason doesn't come with just one invoice. Because you see, that wouldn't be enough for the general public. They would try to explain away one thing. You won't be able to explain away all of them. But by the way, yeah, Pearly things is the devil incarnate, but your friend, unprovoked and unsolicited, called up the lead attorney and they both were sitting up there, Mutt and Jeff, defending Pearly things, and I just couldn't help but notice that right after that, why, there you are live and in person with the man of the hour in question. And I just couldn't help but notice that. And I just found that to be hella odd, because it wasn't like we had some precursor, some warning that you and him were, olive oil and Popeye. We didn't have any warning about that. But I just couldn't help but notice Nathan's only claim to fame is defending Pearly things. That's a core tenet of his character. He saw her in trouble and he swung to the rescue. And there you are.
Nathan claim to fame is whenever he got drugged by that car. That is his claim to fame. I mean, just to be honest with you. So that is something that I do disagree with TBA on.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not his claim to fame. And I don't know Nathan because of just Pearly things.
The world does.
Nathan. Okay. Well, I'm not going to, I guess, defend why I respect Nathan. Again, he might not think like me, and that's fine. A lot of people might not think like me. And we can have those open-end discussions about why I think this and why he thinks that. But again, Nathan has been my friend for a long time.
And if he thinks that a white person saying slavery is embellished, isn't racist, well, you chalk that up to, well, he just doesn't think like me.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, he didn't. He's never told that to me. He's never said slavery was embellished.
Okay, he sat there on the lead attorney's program in front of the world and defended Pearly things and said that for that white woman to say that was not racist.
Okay. Well, if he said that, then that's a conversation I guess I can have with him. And I don't know what else I'm calling.
Pearly things, we don't need to have a conversation with her.
Right.
Now, Pearly things, you wouldn't be mincing words about her. You just go straight to, yeah, that's not acceptable. So that was the first thing. I just wanted to put that out there and whatnot. I thought that was great.
That's a bit hypocritical in my book. And I'm being diplomatic. That's a bit hypocritical. Because if you can hold Pearl feet to the fire, you also have to hold her supporters' feet to the fire. Am I right or wrong about my assessment? Because I'm fair now. I'm balanced across the board. I'm not biased with nobody. Even my mom, my dad. I'm not biased. I can look at a situation from a cold, hard, analytical perspective, and I call it straight down the middle. With no leans or no slants, no bias, nothing to it. Let me say this one more time, because I want you to get some understanding. In the words of Dr. Umar Johnson, understand, overstand, understand, all right? If I was standing in the fence of just Pearly things, and I'm talking about hand, tooth, and nail, fighting and going to war, going to bat for her, what would I expect other than people to come after me? because apparently I share those same sentiments. Am I correct about that? I need to hear from somebody now, because I know I'm right, because I feel it down in my gut. I got an unction for this thing. Huh? You understand me, don't you? Let's move right along.
Let me tell you a little something, okay? Because I've seen the comments and there's people, Courtney is a chameleon. Courtney's a chameleon. Yeah, I'm saying it right now. If you look and see why I got the name Chameleon, it is because Pink Book Lessons did a video on me about a year and a half ago. And she said I was a chameleon because I got vividly pissed off that I was on a panel with a non-Black woman discussing Black issues. A year and a half ago, I was pissed about it. So coming from that situation to the Pearl situation, there's no chameleon about that. I've been very consistent. However, because of my stance on that, a year and a half ago, before Pearlie was even here, people were pissed off at me because how dare Courtney have a problem with somebody non-Black being in an all-Black panel? Who is this woman? She's a chameleon. However, I've been consistent, and that ideology that I've had then, I have it now with just Pearlie. So that chameleon idea, that's fine. You can say whatever, but that's where it came from. So I've been consistent. I've not changed up my rhetoric or what I believe in. I do believe in nuclear families. I do believe that men should lead. I'm not trying to be the leader of nothing. I barely even go live.
But when she does, she's got Nate nearby.
All the women in.
Now, in all fairness, Courtney, I can attest that you are telling the truth. You are telling the truth about that, because we do remember that panel is called A Mirror. And come to find out, whenever that everybody starts checking her paperwork and checking her background, she has some real egregious and grimy things to say about Black people here in America. She said something to the effect, if my memory serves me correctly, she said something along the lines of, if Black people don't like it here, just go back to Africa. And the lady herself is from the Middle East or some way. She's some type of Arabian chick, talking greasy. And Courtney was up on her head. She was. Because I seen the episode. Yes, that is 100% facts. She did hold her feet to the fire, and everybody got upset with her because she was checking a mirror about why is she on a Black panel talking down on Black people. Go handle your own issues. And I do agree with that, because you won't never ever see, you heard me? I say in a million years, you won't never see a Black man or Black woman with a group of Chinese, Asian, Mexican, white, or what have you. You won't never see a Black person on there talking solely about their issues, taking them to task. You're not going to see that. So how is it so easily for a person like A Mirror to come in and try to talk on Black people issues, just like Pearl? Just like Pearl. Why was it so easy and so convenient for her to slide right on in? Because Negroes don't have no self-respect. That's why. That's why it's so easy for people to go on Vlad TV. That's why it's so easy for people to go on No Jumper without an agenda. If I'm going on there, it's for an agenda. But most people just want clout. Most people just want some attention. Attention is the new currency. We all know that. A nigga will sell his soul for a little attention. That's why you guys, you have to be careful with these Judases. Judases is all around you all the time. Judas could be your family member, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncles, your children, your so-called frenemies, your friends. Judas is all around you.
In the States, I have the least sub count. I have the least amount of videos. The least of all of them. So I'm not out here trying to make necessarily a name for myself, but I do believe in trying to be the betterment, to try to better our community, and I do want to do my part as a woman, and I do believe in male leadership. I've been consistent with that. There's nothing I've not been consistent with.
I want to better our community. Can you just give me a bit of a helper here, Courtney? Just so I can be aware. Mm-hmm. What part of associating with Nate Pearly Things Ain't Racist deal is bettering the community for you?
Okay. So, I've known Nathan before this Just Pearly thing.
Okay, now did you hear the question I just asked?
I've known Nathan a very long time, and Nathan is a man of integrity. He's treated me nothing but respect. I respect that he is a police officer, or was, and trying to, he has an initiative right now, the Blue Phoenix initiative, that's trying to build a better relationship among citizens and the police. I think that's important.
Where are his people from?
So, I know these people, I believe, is from Jamaica, but
there you go.
With him.
By the way, y'all, just a little bit of housekeeping. There you go. Mm-hmm. There it is. Now, y'all remember I had said that before originally. I said, by the way, he sure does got them vibes about him. I'm not certain, but he sure does look like it. Yeah, there you go. There it is. A dependable lot they are. Okay. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
there it is. And I'm just wondering here, in a life or death situation with a Pearly Things minded cop, I wonder where he would come down. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. We already know.
We already know. Yep.
Okay. Well, like I said, I guess these would be stuff that you can discuss with him. I don't know, but I'm not going to. If he's Jamaican, he's Jamaican. I also support a man that's a Nigerian. I also support African. I look at black as black.
So do I. I don't support anybody who defends white supremacists. So his Jamaicanness is not the issue. Well, Jamaicanness that tends to, when you have these immigrant class people who have a suspiciously consistent track record of when they see white supremacy, they go first in hand with the pom-poms, cheerleading for them harder than they cheerlead for themselves. Now that's where we have an issue. Now that's where the problem comes in.
Okay.
And I just couldn't help but notice that. Now, Courtney, you don't feel like anybody's ambushed you now, do you?
No, I don't feel ambushed. No, I don't.
Okay, good. Because we certainly will want to make sure that you feel like you've been dealt with openly and fairly. And we had a few questions about that in particular because for some odd reason, it just seemed a little strange that she became non-communicative right after we spoke to her. Couldn't help but notice that happen. And then when I saw her all booed up with Deputy Dog, I was like, well, that explains everything now, doesn't it?
Who was booed up?
We don't have a problem with people from the diaspora. We have a problem with the coons from the diaspora. Let me say that one more time, just to make sure I'm abundantly clear. We don't have a problem with brothers and sisters outside of America. From any continent, from any country, nothing of the kind. We have a problem with the coons that come over here and try to talk down and undermine us. Always want to talk negative about us, DJ Academic. Huh? That's what we have a problem with. We don't have a problem with people coming here trying to just make a better life for themselves and, not talking reckless, but just coming and just understanding the situation that we all in. But instead of doing that, you got people looking down on you. How the world you gonna look down on us? We the richest black people on earth. So how the world you gonna look down on? You know what? Whatever. With that being said, guys, I got to go now. But before I go, the last thing, Courtney, I dealt with you fair. I didn't get into no kind of ad hominem attacks, no invectives, none of that. I dealt with the information at hand, and I just looked at it from an objective standpoint, all right? From my vantage point, I spoke on it from my vantage point. And by the way, family, I met Courtney in real life, and she can attest to this. She can attest to this. She's a cool chick, I mean, honestly. But those associations, it's questionable, sis. It's questionable. But you are grown. I'm going to take my hands off it. Jesus take the wheel, right? Guys, you know what I need y'all guys to do for me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Shout out to TBA as well. Guys, until next time, peace. And remember, there is more.